So welcome to the BNFL National Youth Cup Final, where today, with the teams preparing for this key game, the culmination of all their efforts for a season. This is the Amateurs Wembley, and here in the Travellers Saints dressing room, a club pep talk here as these lads manage to psych themselves up for the match against Ligh Miners Welfare. The Travellers Saints club formed in '71 and very involved was the former Great British Scrum half Tommy Smales, who was also the landlord at the club's HQ, the Travellers Rest Hotel. They've had a superb season. They've managed to reach a couple of local finals, which they're still yet to contest. But as far as they're concerned, this is the big one, the BNFL National Youth Trophy. To get yourselves on this trophy is what every team aims for. And of course, this side, with some marvellous wins on the way to the final, are very keen today to get out there and face against Ligh Miners Welfare.
Do not touch the ball. Two men display the ball, and when we keep that ball, up and play it quick.
Come on, lads, get that right on this chest. Come on, think of it. Yeah.
Here in the Ligh Miners dressing room, it's the coach, Jerry Andrews. He took over at the beginning of the season from Billy Wilkinson, who'd taken the side to 3 National Cup finals and 4 Youth Cup finals in 10 years. It was a difficult task to take over, but Jerry Andrews, the coach, along with Tommy Martin, his assistant, a former Great Britain forward, he's managed to surpass that. They've already won the Lancashire Cup, and now they're going for the National Youth Trophy. If they do that, it will be the best performance they've ever had in any season at youth level at Ligh Miners. Of course, the Miners, a famous cup fighting side, very famous indeed for their open age sides. They've been in the Rugby League Challenge Cup on numerous occasions, and these lads who are playing here today, if they don't get signed professional like so many of them do, then these will no doubt be forming the nucleus of a professional side in some years to come. The Ligh Miners Club keen on victory. This is the 4th final at National Youth Cup level in 7 years. They've won it twice and lost it once. They're looking for a hat-trick of wins here in this BNFL National Youth Final. Welcome to Knowsley Road, St Helens, for the BNFL Bala National Youth Cup final today between Travellers Saints from Featherstone and Ligh Miners Welfare. Under-19s level game this, and of course both these sides fought a mighty path to get here to the final today. Ligh Miners, they were exempt the preliminary round, as were indeed Travellers Saints. Then in the first round they played Widnes St Mary's at home, romped away with it by 84 points to 4. Then they travelled away to another Widnes side, Widnes Tigers, and won by 23 points to 14. And of course it was Widnes Tigers that won this competition last season. The third round, it was Newlands from Hull, and that was 54-12 at the Ligh Miners Twisgate Lane game. And then in the semi-final they travelled over to Leeds and played Middleton, winning by 23 points to 12. A pretty impressive record for Ligh Miners, but the Travellers Saints is no less exemplary, because they too, as I said earlier, were exempt in the preliminary round. Then in the first round they took on Oldham St Hans, a very strong side indeed, beating them by 24 points to 12. They travelled away to Blackbrook and won 22 points to 4, and there's not many sides do that in a season. Then it was Redhill at home and 14-12 are a very tense tussle, and then Greatfield at home by 24 points to 14 in the semi-final to boot this final appearance. Well, as you're looking at the sides and the brass band are banging away there on that large drum, it's Ligh Miners in the all-black kit on the right-hand side, and then Travellers Saints playing in a replica Featherstone kit on the left-hand side. Let's run through the sides. Ligh Miners Welfare at fullback Paul Hourigan, and international fullback number 2 Mike Farrimond, and 3 Simon Booth. 4 is Mike McGowan, and 5 Barry Hodkinson. The halfbacks have done a lot of damage for these teams. This team on the way to the final, that's Mike Blakely at number 6 and number 7 Michael Devine. Then the captain at number 8 Pierce Bent. Not an international, but he's played a lot of representative rugby with the North West Counties and Lancashire. Brian Gill at hooker. Simon Wood at number 10. Then 11 Richard Summer and 12 David Bradbury. 13 is Steve Flannery. The substitutes 14 Gareth Hatton and 15 Frank Costello. Travellers Saints, well, Craig Booth, an international, he's the captain at fullback. Stephen Parker at number 2, Kevin Minter at number 3, and John Jepson at number 4. Paul Rubery is number 5. The halfbacks, another international in Spencer Longstaff at number 6, then Wayne Simpson number 7. The forwards, Chris Windmill at 8, Ross Northern, who's interesting, a lot of amateur professional clubs, number 9, number 10 Jason Wood, and 11 Leigh Holmes. 12 Mike Smith, well, that's the third international in this Travellers Saints side, and 13 Roger Smelt. The substitutes, 14 Robert Dickinson and 15 Kevin Pearce. Very big side, the Travellers Saints team. Leigh Miners also got some powerful big forwards in there, and both sides famed for the quite tenacious tackling. If that materialises today, we're going to be in for a game that could well lift the roof off Knowsley Road. So the captain's coming to the centre of the park. Craig Booth, the captain of Travellers Saints, with Piers Bent of Leigh Miners, and obviously exchange of pennants on the halfway line. And the referee, Steve Nicholson, throws the coin. The call. Difficult to see from here who's won it, although at the moment it looks like one of the photographers, I think it's Howard Shivens, wants to get a picture of everybody. So everything's held up just for that at the moment. So the sides going to stay as they are. No wind here today, except perhaps at Leigh Miners' backs. Whatever faint indication there is here today on the far corner flag, a little bit of wind blowing the flag about, and that seems to be heading behind Leigh Miners' back. So it's going to be Travellers Saints to kick off towards the main changing room end. And we're underway here at Knowsley Road, the BNFL National Youth Final, and not the best of starts either. A knock-on by Paul Hourigan. Well, early nerves there, that kick should have been taken. It bounced up a little bit, unfortunately, and he knocked on in the very opening seconds of the game. So it's going to be Wayne Simpson to put in the ball. Of course, in the new rules, it's a well won, but he's also well tackled by loose forward Steve Flannery. In comes a big strong forward from Rovers, driving for the line. It's a halfback, it is number 6. It's Spencer Longstaff, just tackled short, trying to get in underneath the post. Simpson's attacked in half. Moves the ball out. A long wild pass, really. Should have been more with that, but recovered well by the red-haired centre, Kevin Minter, driving back to same place, and it's Longstaff going from Acton half, but well tackled by the Miners forwards underneath those posts. Well, it's tremendous pressure here from Travellers Saints, moving the ball out to Simpson. He's well in. Piers Bent is the forwards, and that's 6 tackles, and good tackling by Leigh Miners too, on the line under a great deal of pressure. Now it's going to be their turn to bring the way. It's with Bent, but it's the Travellers Saints forwards moving in. As I said a little bit earlier, these two sides famed for quite some fierce defensive work. The hooker Gale, he puts it back to the standoff. Mike Blakely hits it long and deep, and Craig Booth lets the ball bounce. Then Regabbers is going to try to bring the ball away. Well tackled by Michael Devine. Being held down there though. The referee says play on, not interested. A switch at the acting half. Northern slipping the ball, and it's a good run by the number 11, Leigh Holmes. Just managed to tap his ankles, did number 4, Mike McGowan. But it's Spencer Longstaff, already featuring prominently. We've only had a couple of minutes gone in this game. With Smith and Northern. Good short ball from Smelt. Travellers Saints having the very best of this early exchanges. Offside. Well, what's the referee going to give there? He's given the offside decision, but accidental offside. The first knock on he's taken. It's going to be a scrum down. The Miners bringing the ball away. Good ball out to McGowan, but well tackled by his opposite number, John Jepson. Hourigan tries to take the ball away, but Smelt gets in there for a good tackle. This time it's Gill, and the second row, Richard Sumner. With Gill again. Half dummies, half taking the ball, but Chris Windmill managed to drop on, but a bit of illegal use of the elbow. The referee spots it and gives the first penalty of the game back to Leigh Miners. Gives them a chance to relieve some pressure here. And it's Blakely, kicks the ball, gains some 25 yards. Going to be a tap out, a restart. Skill to take it. Comes Wood, and it's with Sumner. Sumner driving the ball in well. It's good driving tackle, but well met by Mike Smith. Now Gill from acting half, looking as it again to find a little bit of a gap here. The ball comes loose, but Bent can't take it up, so the referee spots the knock on, and quite rightly so. And it's going to be a Travellers put in with Simpson. Doesn't quite gather it clearly, but referee gives a penalty for not retiring. Miners making the mind up here what they're going to do. A little bit of a confab, and he's going to go for touch. Blakely kicks the ball deep into the corner, some like 5 yards from the Saints line. Well, the first chance for Leigh Miners to launch an attack here at Knowsley Road. Ball into Wood. Wood driving hard for that line, brought down a yard or so down. It's going to be Gill attacked in half again. This time puts it out to Devine. Devine's going on his own. He's looking to release the ball, but can't get it out as he's well tackled by his opposite number, Simpson. Gill again, this time to loose forward Flannery. Flannery's going in a driving, surging run. Plays it, took it well. I think he attempted to play it to himself, but referee wasn't happy with that. And quite a basic mistake. Lets a very good position go. Just 5 minutes into this first half of this BNFL National Youth Cup final between Travellers Saints and Leigh Miners Welfare. Only gains a few yards with that kick. It's going to be Ross Northern. It's the ball. Travellers Saints. But well met by Bradbury. A good run from Smith. Second row forwards, and he releases the ball well. Now this is something Northern's in support. He gets it up to Simpson, but Simpson's tackled by Hourigan. But that was a good flash of rugby there from Travellers Saints. Now with Longstaff, Smelt. I think number 10, Jason Wood. Pulling the ball back again, it's with Smelt again. Now Simpson looking to put the ball right. Longstaff trying to step inside. Gets the ball out well to Simpson. It eventually comes to ground. Well, we just had that one flash from Travellers Saints of what could happen if this ball starts getting a bit of a average for Longstaff. With Smith, the ball gone to ground again, and a knock on. Well, the bounce of the ball, when it is coming, not really favouring Leigh Miners. Opportunities like that, you would expect them to take the ball and make something of it. So the ball brought away with Blakely. But tremendous tackling from Travellers Saints. Gill gives it to Sumner. Sumner driving, a good surging run from Richard Sumner. Now with Gill again. Bent, we've not seen him come too much just yet. Bent. Gill again to Devine. Blakely switches, looking for the half break. He's managed to get halfway, gets a good ball out as well to Flannery, takes it. But quick as a flash, the Saints tacklers up on him. Gill attacked in half again. Now Devine looking for a bit of a break himself, but finally brought down by his bootlaces. Now with Flannery. Well, a bit of an unorthodox kicking style, but it's taken in the end by John Jepson. What a crunching tackle. Another good strong run from Stephen Parker, but the referee not very happily with that. He's going to have a word with one of the Miners players. In fact, it's number 5, Barry Hodgkinson, being spoken to, just giving a little bit extra in the tackle that the referee didn't like. And it's a penalty to Travellers Saints. Drives it low and hard, but doesn't make too much yardage, but at least the ball is in touch, and that gives them the opportunity to resume play. About 5 yards in the Travellers Saints half. So hooker Ross Northern gives it to the wingman, Stephen Parker. Just received treatment, but gamely takes the ball up, makes a good few yards as well with Northern this time. Good strong run by the Jason Wood, but well met by Bent and Sumner. Some tremendous tackling from both these sides. A good breakout by the number 12, Mick Smith. Can Hurrigan tackle? Yeah, but he gets the ball to Smelt, but Smelt finally tackled 15 yards from the minus line. It's with Longstaff trying to jance around, gets it out to Northern. Northern slips it, not quite to Simpson. In fact, it's Booth coming in from fullback into the line, and a knock on. Well, what flashes we have seen of football in this game have so far come from Travellers Saints. So it gives Blakely a chance, Michael Blakely a chance to relieve pressure for Leigh Miners with a kick down that far side. It's a good 30 yards, had to take a little bit of the pressure off his forwards. It's still going to be resumed. Sumner's the man coming for it, but he does him, gives it to Bent. Bent manages to get past the first man, but finally met by that wall of Saints tacklers. Now it's Gill moving it out. That's, whoa, nearly loses the ball, but gets it out to Hurrigan eventually. A floated pass over for the wingman, but unfortunately it goes to ground. Barry Hodkinson couldn't quite take the pass. Would have been interesting to see what would have happened had he have taken it, but of course speculation is no use in such occasions. So it's going to be a scrum down. Saints to put in. And the ball, but offside. Leigh Miners, second row forward, David Bradbury. It's Craig Booth. Drives it towards touch. Some 10 minutes of the game gone. No score here at Knowsley Road in the BNFL National Youth Cup Final. A good driving run from Lee Holmes. Now with Simpson at acting half. Simpson at acting half. Northern, Smelt, looking for the switch, but well hit. What a tackle by Flannery. What a tackle. Well, you have to be a little bit sharp in that, but the referees have judged that he's managed to keep hold of the ball, Smelt. I don't know how he gave that one. Almost an interception there too, but finally the ball regathered by Saints fullback Craig Booth. So it's now with Saints trying to bring the ball away. As I said, in the same area they've been most of the game. Mike Smith, he's looking devastating, but a good break again. Good tackle by Blakely. Well, that's about the third time we've seen Smith go through. Certainly a powerful forward. Now with Northern, Smelt puts it out to Longstaff, but the ball behind him makes him turn, and he well tackled by Gill. The ball's gone loose again. What's going to happen? Well, it's Leigh Miners' ball. Actually, Leigh Miners starved of possession here a little bit in this first 10 minutes. Not been able to make the most of the loose balls there are, but it's Bent driving the ball, and he's well tackled by Smelt. With Gill. He's got Sumner going on the dummy. This time he's got Simon Wood coming in on the blind side. Plenty of support for Leigh Miners here today. Good short ball to Bradbury. Skill again. Looking to go from acting half himself. A good ball. Well taken by Hurrigan. Get two players outside him, but did well to hold on. To move the ball left now with Devine. Devine going his own. Little chip, but pulled down. But the referee is happy enough that it was just as he was about to kick the tackle was made. Blakely gets in on Booth. Makes a good tackle on the 25. And Booth tries to put the head in. The referee judges. Then he says something. Well, this is interesting. This must have given Leigh Miners the opportunity to at least take a lead here at Knowsley Road. Well, that was foolish by Booth, an international, the captain of the side. The referee saw something in the tackle. It looked like he tried to butt Blakely as he tackled him. and then to dispute it with the referee is foolish. That's lost 10 yards and given Ligh Miners a very good kicking position to try and take the lead here. Some 12 minutes into the BNFL National Youth Final. The kicker, Steve Flannery, enjoyed quite a number of successes this season with the Miners. Side-footed style. Strikes the ball, strikes it firmly between the posts, and there is the first points of the afternoon. 13 minutes into the game. Ligh Miners 2, Travellers Saints 0 in the BNFL National Youth Cup Final. Game restarted. That's Longstaff, a dummy, going from acting half, trying to make good ground, but eventually tackled. But the referee, a touch judge on from this side. Not liking what he saw in the tackle. Obviously having a word, going to have a word with the Miners player, calling the captain across to Piers Bent. It's McGowan he's talking to. These sides fiercely competitive, very much to the fore in their own particular league areas. But it's Booth driving the ball towards the touchline for a restart from the tap. Ross Northern will restart the game. It's got Jason Wood coming in, a big powerful forward, drives it in, but well tackled by Bradbury and by Sumner, these second row pair of Ligh Miners. The number 11, Lee Holmes. Northern, a good ball, Smith's in, he's in, they've had trouble with him all afternoon. A short ball, the first tackle was missed, and when you're on your own line you can't afford to miss any. So first try of the afternoon to Mick Smith, the international second row forward from Travellers Saints, and to be honest, he's the player who's looked to be capable of breaking the deadlock so far this match. He's made 3 quite comprehensive breaks in the past, and that was the 4th time they missed the tackle. It proved crucial. Smith, 12. Smith, 13's got a threshold on. So it's Craig Booth to take the conversion after a little bit of light-heartedness. And he strikes it firmly. The scoreline, Ligh Miners 2, Travellers Saints 6. Some 16 minutes gone of the BNFL National Youth Cup Final. Quite incredible record on the way to the final. Travellers Saints only conceded 3 tries in the 4 games. The coach of the side, Peter Bell, formerly of Featherstone, prides himself and prides his team on the tremendous defence. I must admit we've seen quite a bit of good tackling today from both sides. But it's Roger Smelt, loose forward, trying to kick over John Jepson, but regathered, the ball going back to Saints. Miners tackling again, a little bit short of ball. So with Northern, it's Smith, this big powerful second row lad who scored that opening try just a few minutes ago. Now with Northern, now to Jason Wood, now with Smelt. A good tackle by Hodgkinson. Ball on the ground, looking to gain good ground. The ball not quite gathered by Devine, but eventually covers it up. And it's now Ligh Miners are going to have to make some ground on their own 25-yard line. That's a good, powerful run from Simon Wood. Now Piers Bent shrugs off 1, shrugs off 2, but they're driving towards touch. But a good 5 yards, well earned Out with Gill. Missing out the first one, a dummy. Halfway through, but not quite, is Gill. Very lively customer from acting half. Bent at acting half, puts the ball out to Devine. Devine kicking, but well taken by Jason Wood, the number 10 of Travellers Saints. Miners struggling to get themselves away from these areas. Lee Holmes, second row forward from Travellers Saints. Now Simpson, dummies to Smelt, gives it to Smith. Smith manages to beat the first tackler, as he has done most of the afternoon. But he's eventually tackled by Bent. Now with Simpson, they're moving the ball out wide here. Number 8, Chris Windmill. He's tackled by Sumner. This time it's a kick back, hits a Miners player, boot back, Booth finally tackled on his own 25-yard line. The referee wipes the slate clean. Flannery kicks out of the ball, it's gathered again by Longstaff. He's trying to step inside, makes a good 5 yards, finally being tackled by McGowan. Northern going from acting half. Smith, not a good pass, but well taken by Simpson. Bit of a high tackle there, the referee straight into. Well, obviously saw it. Will he have a word with David Bradbury, the second row forward? Well, he's just happy enough it was accidental, I assume, more than anything else, but gives a penalty nevertheless. While Wayne Simpson gets a little bit of treatment. He's okay, of course. And it's going to be Booth kicking towards this near side. Travellers Saints to resume play with the number 11, Leigh Holmes. Good run, gaining good yardage on this near side, but it's just being dragged a little bit close to touch. The referee shouts hell, get on with the game. So Stephen Parker going on his own, likes to try to go from acting half whenever he can. Simpson to Northern, to Windmill. Switching, but a bad switch indeed. If it doesn't come off, picked up by 12 Sumner and slipped on as the Miners had an opportunity to try and come away, but it's Gill attacked in half. This time McGowan keeping himself away from touch. The Miners not managed yet to penetrate this defence, but it's a good driving run from Richard Sumner. Takes the play over the halfway line. Gill out now, out to Devine, then with Blakely. Now McGowan missed out, Flannery, but a good tackle. Gets the ball round his man quite superbly there to Simon Booth, but Simon Booth gets the tackled. Mine's made a couple of hard-earned yards. Devine looking, probing, trying to find his way through. Alive with a couple of halfbacks. Now Gill, now Blakely. Blakely's kicking again for that touchline, and it's a good kick too. Just a reminder of the scoreline: Leigh Miners 2, Travellers Saints 6. And penalty at that scrum. Again, helps Travellers Saints. The Miners not able to sustain pressure for any length of time. Booth drives the ball hard into the stand. Northern slipping the ball back to Wood. But a good tackle from Richard Sumner. Ball in the line, Windmill trying these switches again with Smith. Here he comes past that first tackler, offloading it for Longstaff. Certainly a devastating forward, Smith. But with Simpson, Northern managed to regather it. Just slips Blakely, but not quite. Blakely recovers well and makes a good tackle. It's Saints again with Longstaff. Longstaff looking for a little kick through. High, a bit high that one on Bradbury, the referee having a word with him. Bradbury did well to take the ball, but then took a little bit of an outstretched arm from Spencer Longstaff. So it's going to be Leigh Miners to try and gain some yardage on this near side with a kick. Mike Blakely. Very young side, this Leigh Miners team. Only a couple of players move up next year. They're quite delighted to have got to the final, but he doesn't find touch there, Blakely. It's gathered by Stephen Parker. He's trying to run the ball in. Eventually finds Gill, Blakely to tackle him. Northern, the dummy to Smith again. First time Smith tackled first ball, and it's Gill who gets him. Now with Spencer, now with Smelt. This time it's Wood, Jason Wood, a big powerful forward. And the ball back, trying a bit of a jinking run around the back of the acting half-back, but defence is very tight in this game around that position. Now with Northern, now Windmill, puts the ball to ground, and it's well picked up by McGowan. Well, tremendous skills picking that bouncing ball up at pace. With Gill attacked in half, to Blakely, to Bent. Bent, a bit of room to run, he drives it in, but well met. He releases it back again to Blakely. Blakely's past the first man, past the second man. Gets this time to Booth, but Booth well tackled by Paul Rubery. He came in very well to snuff out that danger. The Miners got a deep line, but didn't play the ball, and that's a foolish mistake to make. Didn't play the ball. So the referee not happy with that, whether he played it himself incorrectly or didn't play it. But it's Paul Hourigan, in fact. The fundamental error that lets the Saints off when Leigh Miners could have better utilised that position. Trailing by 6 points to 2 here. So it's going to be Ross Northern to restart the game with Travellers Saints out where they've been most of the game in Leigh Miners' half. But a tremendous tackle by Bradbury. 24 minutes gone, and Rubery struggling a little bit. So the misses the first dummy out, then it's to Jason Wood on the blind, looking to get the ball in, but tackled by Sumner. It goes loose. Can Booth collect it? He has. He's collected the ball, and there's a Travellers Saints player out, not looking too well at all after Booth landed on with him. I suspect it may well be Rubery. He had a crunching tackle just a few minutes ago, but the Miners bringing the ball in. Simon Wood. Going to be Gill. He switches play to Bent. Bent trying to straighten up, look for a bit of gap, but well met by this Travellers Saints defence. Gill to Devine. Blakely they're in very quickly, but he's managing to try and evade one or two of the tacklers. Gill again, this time it to Flannery. Flannery's got going, but good copybook tackle around the legs. Gets the ball away well. The referee, I presume, must have shouted hell, otherwise he wouldn't have given that, but very unfortunate. There's going to be a substitution too on the Travellers Saints. Paul Rubery, spelled R-U-B-E-R-Y, the wingman, being replaced, it would seem, by number 14, Robert Dickinson. Rubery, as we saw, took that crunching tackle from Bradbury just a few minutes ago, and then another tackle from Booth within the space of seconds, and it's obviously knocked him a little bit rubbery. So it's Travellers Saints taking the play inside the Miners' half again, leading by 6 points to 2. Parker taking the ball in, well tackled by Sumner. They're trying to get the ball away, but can't. He holds on to it quite well. So he's got to play his ball, says the referee. Get on with it. So with Northern. Gives it to Holmes. Holmes again tackled by Simon Wood and Pierce Bent. Simpson knocked in half. Gives it to Northern. Northern looking to give it to Windmill. Big forward of Windmill. But the Miners tackling well. Hooker, Brian Gill. Now with Northern again. Longstaff, Smelt. Oh, Booth coming in for the interception, but didn't quite take it. Very unfortunate. If he'd have taken that, it was a very good chance that he could have finished from 50 yards. Quite a pacey wing, a pacey centre or wing, Simon Booth. But it's a scrum down. 10 yards this time the Featherstone line. Featherstone head and ball. And as expected, they take that ball, so the Miners on the defence once more. There's Smelt. This time it's Smith, the try scorer for Travellers Saints. Longstaff, a bit low to Northern, but he took it well. He's almost through the gap. He slips the ball very well indeed to Kevin Minter. But his opposite number, Simon Booth, is in to tackle him. Now moving it again to that left-hand side to Windmill. Windmill half surging off, gets the ball out to Holmes. Holmes slips it to Simpson. Simpson turns it back for Longstaff, but Longstaff couldn't take it. Otherwise there might have been an opportunity, and it's Pierce Bent that clears up. Longstaff struggling. Smelt gets the ball to Northern. Well, there must be something on here. Jason Wood managed to hand off one, but doesn't hand off the other couple. Something extra going in that one too from Mike Devine. The referee's seen it. Very foolish in a very kickable position. Well, he's keeping on top of these two sides, is referee Nicholson, and it's Mike Devine who gives away the penalty opportunity. And Craig Booth, quite a prolific goal kicker for Travellers Saints, who has the opportunity to further increase that lead. Don't forget they're leading by 6 points to 2 with 29 minutes of this first half of the BNFL National Youth Final underway. The Saints have dominated territorially. They managed to breach the Miners' defence on a couple of times, but only scored the one try. The Miners, when they have got there, have missed out. But he misses that opportunity to increase the lead. He strikes it to the left-hand side of the post, so a let off for Leigh Miners. A restart with a dropout from the 25-yard line. And the scoreline still stands. Leigh Miners 2, Travellers Saints 6. So it's Blakely, hits the ball long, high, good kick, but gathered by Booth. He runs it in. Solid, stocky fullback, but tackled by Blakely and Gill. Gill's getting through a lot of work here today. Holmes takes the ball, slips it to Minter. Minter comes running back inside, but it's Bradbury. Another prominent tackler from the Miners. This time again, Northern foraging, taking a few yards forward. With Smelt, Spencer, no Windmill. Tries to indicate he'll switch it, but doesn't fool anybody. With Spencer to Smelt. Covering up, he realised his options had closed, nobody had come with him. Longstaff, a good short ball to Northern on the burst. Tackled by Blakely. Handing it out again, this time it's with Holmes. He's got Booth outside him, but he's gone on his own. And it's the changeover. Now it's Simon Wood driving the ball in for Leigh Miners. Gains a good 15 yards. With Pierce Bent and offside. Travellers Saints offside, and the ironic cheers of the Leigh contingent. So it's going to be Mike Blakely to try and gain yardage here to put Leigh Miners into the Saints' half of the field. It's a good kick. Takes them 15 yards inside Travellers Saints' half. It's going to be Gill to restart. He's got his big forwards there. Richard Sumner here. Simon Wood. He's got Devine out wide. It's going to be first of all to Sumner. A drive, but doesn't beat the first man. Smith hits that tackle in. Now Bradbury misses him to Bent, to switch to Gill, but almost tries to go through, but a good tackle by his opposite number, Northern. It's Bent this time, going on his own from acting half, looking to try and knock off one or two tacklers. Right in front of the post now, it's with Gill. Devine's there, now Blakely's there as well. Can he straighten up? He loses the ball. Well, that was an unfortunate time, but really that would have been an opportunity for the Miners to try and get an equalising try. They did have the men outside, but the ball's gone to ground, so that was that. It's Smelt now, bring it away. Jason Wood running hard. Doesn't get over the 25. Now Windmill comes, but dummies to Smith. Smith checked just on the 25. Both sides tackling tremendously well. Back to Booth for a kick, a clearing kick to Hourigan. Hourigan takes the ball well, but look at the Featherstone defenders closing in on him. It's half a dozen Travellers Saints players. So it's with Richard Sumner. He's trying to get through. Windmill half checks him. Eventually he's brought down by sheer weight of numbers. With Gill to Devine. Blakely. He's got Flannery coming in on the short ball. He can't quite slip it. And a quick play of the ball with Blakely to Devine. Looking for the run around. Now Devine trying to straighten up on his own. Now with Gill. Now with Blakely. A short ball to McGowan. He does well to hold that.
Give it, Bowie.
Blakely, a little kick, and it hits one of the Saints players and straight into touch. Well, 34 minutes of this first half gone, and this is Leigh Minor's best spell on attack. It's the first time they've been able to stay in the Saints half for more than 6 tackles, and they win that scrum well to Blakely. Dummies goes on a short ball for Booth. Booth's in, he's in, and a very good try. A very good try under the post. He took some stopping, did Booth. He's a tall lad. Short pass from Blakely. He dummied initially, drawn the cover, then slipped it as he came at pace, and he spun through a couple of tackles for a very fine try indeed under the post to level the scores at 6 points all. Stephen Flannery. He's already kicked a penalty this afternoon. This is his first conversion attempt, and he strikes it well. Leigh Minor's taking the lead by 8 points to 6 against Travellers Saints in the 35th minute of the first half of this BNFL National Youth Cup final. 2 tries, very similar in their execution. The short ball and players coming in at and on the burst, taking over defenders from about a yard out. Mike Smith, the scorer for Saints. Simon Booth, the scorer for the Miners. And the scoreline at the moment, Leigh Miners 8, Travellers Saints 6. But it's now with Richard Sumner driving the ball in towards the 25-yard line. Second row forwards work very hard. Now with Bent. Northern tackles in. Bent looking to try and release the ball, but good cover tackling, stopping and releasing the ball. Gill this time with Devine to Flannery. A good raking run from Flannery. Gill is now with Devine. He's kicking for this near corner, and it's a good kick too. A good kick. Leigh Minor's now taking the initiative from that surge that saw them go 8-6 ahead after the first spell of sustained pressure. But the ball won by Saints with Smelt. Tackle by his opposite number, Flannery. A good tackle. Always Simpson. Now it's Smith having to be being drawn a little bit more into this first receiver rather than running wide out as he was in the first 30 minutes. Good tackling from the second row forwards of this Miners side. Now back to Booth. Booth going to try and clear the pressure with a kick towards this near side. Well taken indeed by Barry Hodgkinson, but he doesn't manage to beat his first tackler, John Jepson. Simon Wood. Tremendous defence from both these teams. Now with Gill. Sumner driving in, trying to make a couple of yards, but well tackled by Longstaff and Windmill. Gill though, he's got a nice deep line outside them with Devine. Blakely misses out Bradbury to Flannery. He slicks it over to Booth. Booth's managed to get away on the outside. He turns it back inside to McGowan. This is good stuff indeed. Oh, why didn't he use the wingman? My goodness, what an opportunity missed. Mike Farriman was on his inside. Whether he'd overrun him, who can tell, but certainly one would have expected Mike McGowan to turn that ball inside. A very unfortunate miss. That really could have done morale no end of good and sickened the Saints with just a couple of minutes to go to the interval. It was a marvellous break. But the scrum down, and it's going to be Saints to put in and presumably Saints to win the ball. But the referee's not happy. He'll have the scrum again. The ball in, lost Eventually the Saints, Wayne Simpson manages to gather it from the back of the scrum. A good run from the number 14, Robert Dickinson. I think it's the first time he's touched it, but just smelt. This time it's the big forward Leigh Holmes. A good driving run from Holmes. Simpson now to Windmill. Pierce Bench gets shrugged off. A good run from Windmill. Makes a good 10 yards. Simpson acting half. Got to move it out to Smelt. Smelt, one who likes to unload the ball with Northern. Now to Minter. Off tackled by Booth, his opposite number. With Craig Booth. Not a very good pass, but gathered by Smelt. Eventually Simon Booth managed to get into Smelt, and he's wrapped up by Sumner. So it's Simpson, back to Booth, Craig Booth this time. A good kick to Barry Hodgkinson. He takes that one too. Well done by Hodgkinson. Runs it in, but that covers there again. 4 Saints players in. It's Blakely looking for support to Devine. Devine's trying to set something up here. A good ball to Flannery. Can he unload it back? No, the support's not coming. Gill moves it to his right. McGowan driving in at the heart of their defence, but driven back a couple of yards eventually. It's going to be Gill. He's always there at acting half. Now with Devine, switches it back inside for Hourigan. Hourigan can't beat that first defender though. Chances limited in this first half for both sides. Now Devine, Blakely straightens up. He's always makes it. Gets a good ball into Devine. Devine looking very lively there in the middle of the park. With Gill, he's going for a drop goal. He's struck it well, but he's struck it wide of the post, just the right hand side of the post. So it's going to be a restart from the 25-yard line. This time it's Jason Wood comes running in. Tackled by those second rows, and it's half-time. Well, the half-time score here at Knowsley Road. Spot on 40 minutes on my watch. Leigh Miners 8, Travellers Saints 6. A try from Simon Booth and 2 goals by Steve Flannery for the Miners. A try by Mike Smith and a goal by Craig Booth for Travellers Saints. The half-time score here at Knowsley Road. Travellers Saints 6, Leigh Miners 8. The second half of the BNFL National Youth Final about to commence. Leigh Miners leading Travellers Saints by 8 points to 6. This close, hard-fought game. And we're underway. The ball driven deep. Mike Smith, the Saints' try scorer of the first half. No substitutes brought on at half-time in this game. So that means the sides, with the exception of Dickinson, who's on for Paul Rubery, who came on just before a half-time, pretty much the same. I'll just quickly run through those sides once more. Paul Hourigan at full-back for Leigh Miners, Mike Farriman, Simon Booth, Mike McGowan and Barry Hodgkinson in 3/4. Half-backs are Mike Blakely and Michael Devine. Forwards, front row, Pierce Bent, Brian Gill and Simon Wood. And in the second row, Richard Sumner and David Bradbury, with 13, Steve Flannery. And substitutes for Leigh Miners are Gareth Hatton and Frank Costello, 2 forwards. The Travellers Saints, well, they're full-back Craig Booth, and the 3/4, Stephen Parker, who's already gone off injured. Steve Parker, sorry, number 2. 3, Kevin Minter, John Jepson, then Paul Rubery, who's already gone off injured. Good run by Leigh Miners. Good run indeed. The half-back Spencer Longstaff and Wayne Simpson for the Saints. Then front row, Chris Windmill, Ross Northern and Jason Wood. Second row, Leigh Holmes and Mick Smith. And Roger Smelt at loose forward. The substitutes, Robin Dickinson, number 14, already on the park. And 15, Kevin Pearce. Ball to Minter. Tackled by his opposite number, Booth. Now with Longstaff going from acting half. Quite a lively customer. Had a good first 40 minutes, but met by Pierce Bent and Brian Gill. Brian Gill, particularly for the Miners, working very hard on defence. But now with Spencer, Northern knocks on as he tries to set up another Saints attack. 30 minutes of the first half, it was nearly all Travellers Saints dominating territorially. But the last 10 minutes of that game saw the Miners start to take the edge. But of course, that half-time can change a lot of things, and that was a good win against the head put in by Travellers Saints. May Windmill comes running in, all tackled by Bradbury and Bent. A hard fought game, but the referee not happy with the Bent's involvement in that tackle, and he awards a penalty attempt should I say. Here, Craig Booth has the opportunity to level the scores. He must take this, I feel. He's got the wind behind his back, and he's kicked reasonably well. He's missed one effort that was quite wide out in the first half, but a powerful boot on him. So Craig Booth, an international, playing at fullback for Travellers Saints, left-footed kicker. Strikes the ball firmly and accurately, and that's the first points of the second half to Craig Booth. A penalty goal, and the scoreline: Ligh Miners 8, Travellers Saints 8. After 43 minutes. So it's with Wood. Now Smith dodging that first tackle, but finally brought down by Sumner. Quite a chilly afternoon, and the crowd filling up quite nicely. Probably a couple of thousand here at Knowsley Road. Spencer attacked in half. Gives it to Northern. Northern looking for Longstaff. Longstaff steps back inside. He's on the half break, but he gets the ball to Northern. Northern's through now. Blakely in pursuit. He slips the ball to Spencer. Spencer's going to be in the corner, is he? Blakely's tackled him. He gets the ball out somehow to Parker, but it was a tremendous tackle by Blakely. A tremendous tackle. It looked a try all the way, but somehow Blakely managed to get back and tackle Spencer, forcing him to release the ball. Oh, a bad position to lose the ball. Well picked up by Wood. This Longstaff is going in, he's in for a try behind the post. Well, that was disaster for Ligh Miners. And the jubilation of the Travellers Saints players, obvious for all to see. But a mistake by Ligh Miners, and Longstaff was on hand to snap up the ball and jink his way through for a try behind the post. Scoreline: Ligh Miners 8, Travellers Saints 12, and a devastating opening 5 minutes for the Saints, so they've pulled back 6 points with the opportunity of 2 more to take the lead and the initiative in this BNFL National Youth Cup final. Booth strikes the ball firmly between the posts. The scoreline: Travellers Saints 14, Ligh Miners 8. It's Blakely who's going to resume play, but certainly Travellers Saints opened up very strongly in the second half, because not only have we had that try, but there was also the opportunity when Spencer could well have scored a try a little bit earlier. It's Parker runs the ball in well before finally being tackled by Bent, with Smelt this time to Northern. It's Holmes straightened up but met by Bradbury. The pitch very firm and hard. Just in case of which of the fittest side here, which can take it out. But of course, Saints leading by 14 points to 8. Out with Smith. Longstaff had a very good game. Hits the referee. Oh my goodness. Well, almost somebody's head went off there, but looked much worse than it was. In fact, it was Blakely's hand that got kicked. So it's Ligh Miners head and ball. It's out by Devine to Blakely. To Booth. That's long striding centre. Good ball indeed to McGowan. Now McGowan, can he go round Booth? He can't, he has. But stepping back inside, tackled about 5 yards short, the ball gone loose. The referee gives a penalty for pinching the ball. Well, that's a bit of a let-off in some respects for the Saints, because the Miners certainly had them stretched at that occasion. But it's going to be Gill on the restart with the tap penalty. He's got his forwards ready to come driving in. It's with Simon Wood, but what a crunching defence from the Travellers' side. Now Gill again, they're moving up very quickly. Devine, a good looping ball out to Flannery. Is he going to make it? No, he's tackled a foot short. So, moving the ball out to McGowan again. McGowan's going on his own. A big strong tackle. Should have used perhaps Booth outside of him, along with Mike Farriman, but now the ball being moved out with Devine. Blakely, who has an eye on the man coming in, drops the ball and it goes to ground, and that's opportunities missed. Miners there had the chance, perhaps, if McGowan had moved that ball out. Flannery come in on the crash ball. But it's Saints who've got the ball. Well, that was a lively spell from the Miners, but they didn't pull any points back on it. It's kicked through from Blakely, it was straight down the tunnel. So it's going to be a tap restart with Spencer. Mike Smith drives the ball in well. Francis dummies for Smelt. This time it's Wood. He's run powerfully this afternoon. Tackled by Bent. Which Longstaff, lively attacked in half again, meets his first couple of defenders before finally being tackled by Sumner. But it's Booth, he's going on his own too. Tries to get through Devine, brings his knee up. Yeah, referee saw that too. Yeah. Well, that's the second time Booth's been involved in something a little bit unsavoury in this game. Accused of heading, using his head very early in the first half and then bringing his knee up there. But looks like Devine that's receiving treatment. He's coming up anyway, he looks okay at this time. He's rubbing his shoulder. Derek Penn, the trainer for Leigh Miners, a seasoned campaigner and a keen bowling man, I believe. But it's a penalty, and it's going to be Blakely. Hits the ball well towards this near side. Waiting for the ball to come back off the stand roof. Now it's Gill. Dummies to gives it to Sumner. A good driving run from the second row lad. He's worked very hard defensively. Now Bradbury's the dummy run. Now to Bent. He switches it back to Gill. Blakely to Flannery on the crash. He's through this time. A good run from Flannery. His hands off, almost hands off Booth, but eventually sheer numbers pull him down. But he's run well, Flannery, on those short balls, but all too rarely used. Now the switch to Devine. Gives it to Blakely. Blakely trying to go himself, but perhaps not the weight to drive in from that distance. Now it's Gill. Dummying. Looking to give it to Flannery, but well tackled by Windmill, who followed him all the way. So it's Flannery. Again, through to Pierce Bent. Can he get in? Can he get down? No, he's tackled. Still holding the ball over the line, unable to ground the ball. Tremendous defence from the Saints. Bent will not be happy with that, but he didn't manage to get the ball down. And it was a good defensive work from the Saints. It's going to be a scrum down, 5 yards down. Held, unable to ground the ball over the line. And it's a Saints pudding. Saints win the ball. Gives them the opportunity to try and bring it away, relieve some of this pressure that they're under. And a good tackle. A very good tackle. And they going to be knock on, I think he's given the referee. So it's the Miners with the ball. Windmill tackling Divine. It's Mike Ferryman. Then the ball moved along line. Booth straightening up. This raking run of Booth. Gill hacked in half. Moving it out to Divine, to Blakely. Jenkins trying to straighten up, but he can't find his way through that defence. Lively spell this from the Miners. Bradbury driving for it. They're up so quickly, the Saints. Now with Gill. Well missed out to Hourigan, and it's McGowan in at the corner. McGowan in at the corner for a well-worked try after a sustained spell of pressure from Leigh Miners. That makes a scoreline. Travellers Saints 14, Leigh Miners 12, and a very difficult kick to come for Stephen Flannery. So it's Stephen Flannery. 2 goals to his credit this afternoon, but a very difficult one for him. The right-footed kicker. He strikes the ball well, he strikes it well, but it's not quite got the laser, not quite got the angle. So the scoreline, Leigh Miners 12, Travellers Saints 14. Some 14 minutes of the second half gone, and we really have got a cup final on our hands here this afternoon. Ball struck deep, grabbed by Hodgkinson. Back Mike Farriman. Now good Gill gives it to Sumner. School driving run from Sumner. Moves the ball out, Flannery this time, looking to slip it to Blakely. Blakely tackled by Jepson. That's Bradbury. The ball goes loose though. Leigh Miners lost a lot of ball like that today. Saints are very good at ripping the ball in the tackle. It gives them the opportunity to set up something here. It's Windmill, it's big foot forward, unleashes it to Holmes. Good tackle by Booth, manages to pull that down. But Holmes seems to be getting a little bit of cramp. He'll play the ball quickly. With Smelt, now with Minter. No, it doesn't beat Flannery. Now with Northern. Saints got 2 men down at the moment. Smith, Smelt, Wood, tackled by Gill. The ball back to Booth, looking for the drop goal. He strikes it firmly, hits it well, and it's a drop goal. It counts, it's a 1 point. Travellers Saints 15, Leigh Miners 12. Well, psychologically, a good time to score a point. You've got 2 men injured and being treated, and yet still managed to take a point lead. But the Miners are going to bring a substitution on here. It's number 14, Gary Hatton, is coming on for David Bradbury. Well, Bradbury's put in a tremendous tackling stint here today. Meanwhile, it's Travellers Saints also making a substitution. Paul Rubery is coming back on, and he's replacing Wayne Simpson, the scrum half, who's being helped off at the moment. So changes both sides, but the fierce tackling of these 2 teams is obviously going to take its toll. In fact, there's a Miners player now down injured. It looks like Blakely. Whatever it is, he doesn't have it. So a hold up here. 17 minutes into the second half. The scoreline of Leigh Miners Welfare 12, Travellers Saints 15. And the Leigh side, who are chasing the third national final victory, trailing to the Featherstone team, who are looking for their first national youth final success. Was taken by Minter. Flannery, a good tackle, and Hatton straight in there with Northern, this time to Holmes. Flannery's in again, a good tackle by him. Well, assisted with Bent. Longstaff's at acting half, looking to let the ball go to Smelt. He tries to step inside Flannery, but doesn't manage it. Moving the ball out to the right. Now it's with Smith. A good slip ball to Minter, but a good tackle indeed by young Gill, the hooker. Had a tremendous game for the Miners on defence. Longstaff, he's been the main danger man for the majority of this game as far as Saints are concerned. So always probing. The ball back now to Booth. A good deep kick to this deep Miners half, but Hourigan takes it calmly. The international fullback rounds windmill. He's going to try and break up the middle of the park. But that Saints cover all there in evidence once more. With Sumner driving balls to the 25-yard line. Just through from the 25, 10 yards away from that. Now with Bent. Now with Devine to Blakely, puts him through on a superb ball. He's got Devine back inside, and Devine's going to go in on the post. What a marvellous try! That's a tremendous try from those two Leigh halfbacks. It was Devine that slipped the ball through to Blakely. Blakely then shot on the burst for 35 yards, and as he approached Booth, he turned the ball back inside, and there was Devine to finish from 25 yards himself. What a marvellous try, and a try that edges Leigh Miners ahead by 16 points to 15 here at Knowsley Road. And Flannery makes no mistake with the conversion. Leigh Miners 18, Travellers Saints 15. In this close, hard-fought game. Well, Travellers Saints conceded just 3 tries on the way to the final. That's the 3rd try they conceded in this match. But what a testimony to both sides. The defence really has been rigorous, and we wouldn't expect the pace of the first half's tackling work to be kept up. But that was a defence splitting move that would have split any defence. But it's taken this time by Farrimond. He beats his first player, but eventually tackled by Holmes, the second row man. Now with Bent, trying to go from acting half, doesn't manage to hand Smelt off, and then Windmill comes in to give him a hand, but makes good yardage despite the attention of those two forwards. Now Gill, now to Wood. Windmill goes in, tackles him well, copybook style. Gill going from acting half, no support there, and a bit of a high tackle that upsets the Leigh contingent. The referee quite happy with it. Blakely, ball to Hatton. Now with Gill, now Devine. Back to Blakely. Blakely's trying a little chip over and a chase. Is he going to win this? He needs it to stand up for him. It didn't. Booth manages to gather it. Well, when they needed a little bit of luck there, the Miners, they didn't get it. An enterprising move. But it's the Saints trying to bring the ball away. Longstaff leading from the front. But looking like he's received something he didn't want there. Now with Smith, he's been dangerous the first 25 minutes, but we've not seen a lot of him recently. Mind, that's probably tempting Providence. Now with Smelt. Smelt looking to unload the ball. Flannery tackles him, but he managed to get it away to Dickinson. Dickinson slips it to Minter, but not a good ball. Minter has to juggle with it before finally being tackled. So it's Minter to play. Smelt swinging the ball out this side to Longstaff, to Northern, but a good tackle by Bent. Now Longstaff trying to go from acting half, gets a kick in, but tackle taken by Hourigan. Those Saints forwards up there to defend once more, and it's Dickinson and Smelt. And the linesman's on, throwing his flag in at the instant, losing his grip on the handle. Obviously wasn't keen on something he saw in the tackle, and it's Roger Smelt who's being spoken to by referee. 22 minutes gone of this second half. Leigh Miners 18, Travellers Saints 15 in this BNFL National Youth Cup final that's building up to quite a climax. Still anybody's game. Blakely drives the kick into touch. It's going to be Gill, Brian Gill, this young hooker, to restart. With Sumner. Never shirks to take up that first ball. This is out Flannery to Bent, to Gill, Blakely, Devine on the short ball, but that Saints cover defence as always chasing after them. Now with McGowan. Passes to Flannery, but not a good ball. Flannery, a bad pass there to Hodkinson, slightly forward to the ground. Run down, Saints ball, Saints win it. Tackled by Flannery. Is Minter. He switched to scrum half after Simpson's gone off injured. Now Lee Holmes. Hatton tackles. Longstaff, Smelt, moving it out the side. Booth in the line, but he's tackled by his Simon Booth, the Leigh Miners centre. Paul Rubery having a bit of a run. McGowan not quite holding, just manages to peg him back. That's Northern. Can't get the ball back, almost loses it, but managed to hold on to it. Longstaff gets the ball to Smith, but Smith loses the ball. That was a bad chance to lose it. Hatton picks it up, takes it in. So the Saints lost the ball at crucial time. Now Blakely, now Sumner. Knocks that first tackler off. Bent going on his own. Well, his size forwards still slogging it out. Now with Devine, Blakely, a dummy, steps back inside. He's through the gap. He's doing it again. Just one too many, perhaps. He got 4 players outside of him there, perhaps one side step too many. Now with Gill to Devine. Devine managing to set past Smith, gives it to Hourigan. Hourigan gets it to McGowan. McGowan's racing away. He steps inside Booth. He's in for his second try. Well, that's a good try. The Miners moving themselves 22 points to 15 away. McGowan's second try of the game. Second try of, in fact, the second half. 25 minutes gone in this second half. But the Miners moving the ball wide, and once again it was Devine who initiated the move. Sidestepping superbly past Smith and then creating the overlap that enabled Hourigan to put McGowan in at the corner. McGowan did well going inside of Booth for a very fine try. Once again leaving Stephen Flannery a difficult kick from that far side. He hits it well, but again it's just this right hand side of the post. So the scoreline, Leigh Miners 22, Featherstone. So it's Hourigan taking the ball back in. Good run. The substitutes come on. 15, Kevin Pearce for Travellers Saints. Forward pass perhaps, but the referee's not giving it. So it's Bent with the ball. Gill, move it to this Devine. Had a superb game. Blakely This is a man out to Flannery. Flannery stepped inside, gives it to Booth. Booth's taking it. He's digging his heels in and taking a chip across. Northern comes in. The referee's quite happy with that. Booth striking out when tackled. Well, that's twice we've had the referee talking to him. This is the third time. Really not what you would like to see. Hand off with a clenched fist, I might loosely term it as. But while the Miners players having treatment, referee Steve Nicholson going to have a word once more, I'm afraid, with Craig Booth. So it's all stop. He's having a word with him now. Obviously, none of the incidents in themselves warrant a sending off, but it is the third time it has been talked to. Obviously, referee trying to get his point across, and it's a penalty to Ligh Miners. Now Gill, misses out, someone gives it to Wood. Driving run for that line. Gill, a good ball to Hatton. He's going for the line. Is he in? No, not quite. Dragged back by this tremendous Saints cover. Gill puts it out to Devine, but he loses sight of the ball. It's picked up by Smith. And a good tackle by young Brian Gill. Now with Longstaff, the danger man for Travellers Saints. Ball Northern taken in. He's worked hard as Northern, but he's lost the ball on this occasion, and it's Wood who comes up with it. Switch with Devine. Hatton takes it in. These two sides shown very disciplined performances. Now Richard Sumner, another driving run from him. With Gill, Devine, Blakely to Flannery. On this crash ball, he gets out that first tackle. He likes to come in from deep, always looking very dangerous, which Devine, this time to Riggin, keeps hold. Well, fortunately too, because Parker was there looking for an opportunity to pick the ball up. McGowan, Blakely's going on his own, a kick, but not a good one. It's gathered by Smith. Looks like the Miners substitute Frank Costello's warming up. A lad with a reputation for fierce tackling. But that's Smelt, Roger Smelt. Tackled by Flannery. Longstaff, acting half, trying to set something up again, but met by Bent. Oh, the chip, the case. Well, that was an opportunity. The ball going to ground after a series of errors. So off goes Richard Sumner. He's had a superb driving tackling game, replaced by Frank Costello for Ligh Miners. It's Ligh Miners put in. Miners head and ball. Taken by Devine, Blakely. Now Booth in the line. Steps inside. Can he unload it? Yes, he does to Blakely. Blakely looking for the half break, but can't find it. They play the ball quickly. to Frank Costello. Knocks off one, shrugs off another. And Leigh Miners using 2 forward substitutes, obviously respecting the strength of this Travellers Saints pack. That's Blakely, somehow he managed to get through there. Slow to play the ball. There with Devine. He's trying to set something up, a good ball to Hatton. It's back to Blakely. Blakely going for the drop. It's not going to reach though, it's going to fall short. Booth takes it, under no real pressure. Runs round to Hatton, shugs off McGowan. Powerful runner this lad. This time it's in with the number 15 of Travellers Saints, Kevin Pearce. Longstaff trying to go from acting half again. Release it to Smelt, now to Minter. Minter operating at scrum half in the second half after Wayne Simpson, the scrum half's gone off injured. But it's with Northern, he's trying to straighten up, switches it back in, trying to find Smith in support, but can't. It's a knock on, the ball knocked down. It's going to be a scrum down. Well, we'll drop ball at a bad time. Saints struggling a little bit at the moment. That's Devine. Mike Devine. Frank Costello driving it in. But well, crunching tackle, loses the ball. Referee is given that the ball was pinched by Jason Wood. Now it's with Pierce Bent. Saints fans are not happy with that decision. Now with Gill. Going to Long. Blakely, good ball to Flannery. Gives him the opportunity to go. He sidesteps back inside nicely. Gets the throw, a bit of a poor pass away in the end, but it's picked up by Mike Hodgkinson. Well, that was certainly well picked up by McGowan round his ankles, but to no avail. Holmes manages to bundle him into touch. And the man of the match just announced, chosen by the Rugby League Writers Association. It goes to Leigh Miners number 6, Michael Blakely. He has had a fine game here this afternoon, along with his half-back partner, Michael Devine. The ball now with Travellers Saints in this game, far from over. It put in number 5, Paul Rubery away. He's got pace, this lad. He's been chased by Devine. He has to come inside though. And a tremendous tackle. That's the difference. Those Miners players now coming back full of fire and spirit. They're defending this 7-point lead, of course. But it's now with Craig Booth. He's in the line, trying to get away. Back with Longstaff at acting half. He chips, kicks, tries to chase, but the ball's gone dead. And the penalty awarded for obstruction on him. Well, the Miners players might feel a little bit harshly done to there, as he was effectively tackled as he kicked, but referee Nicholson had a good game here this afternoon. So it's going to be Saints. They've scored from positions like this earlier. Big powerful forwards come running in. It's a Smelt at acting half. He's going to go on his own. There's a gap there. Can he get the ball down? But it's Blakely who manages to tackle him along with Bent. But Saints putting on the pressure here. The ball goes to ground. I think a Miners player kicked out on it and managed to regain possession, did Flannery. So it's Simon Wood. A good run from him, gaining a valuable 10 yards at this stage in the game. By my reckoning, just 4 minutes to go, plus a little bit of injury time that we've had in the second half. That's Flannery. He's trying to unload it, but eventually it's just been brought down. In fact, it's Frank Costello. So it's Gill, acting half. Now to Bent. Bent drives it in. Well, then you've got to say, I think that perhaps the Miners side just showing a bit of extra fitness at this stage. The mistakes coming from the Saints. That was a good ball to Booth. Did well to hold it in the end. Now it's Gill from acting half on his own. Gets it back to Blakely. Blakely now to Hatton. Hatton to McGowan, but the ball's taken forward and a knock-on as Blakely gathers and tries to take play away once more. Leigh Miners leading 22 points to 15 against Travellers Saints. Last 3 minutes of this match at Knowsley Road, the BNFL National Youth Cup Final. And it looks like the Miners are after making a substitution, bringing on David Bradbury to replace fullback Paul Hourigan. Seems to have injured his wrist, but it's with Minter. He gets the ball to Longstaff, bit of room to move. Doesn't get past Blakely though, but he does slip the ball nicely to Booth. Booth now gets it to Jepson. Jepson to Rubery, picks it up well, has to come back inside. He's got pace though, as we saw earlier. Doesn't quite get away from Blakely, who has really tackled tremendously well today. But it's with Jepson. Jepson trying to take them on the outside. Doesn't get past Hatton, past Flannery. Now with Wood driving for that line, a big stride full forward. The Miners under pressure here as Travellers Saints trailing by just 7 points. With minutes to go, it's with Booth. Powerful forward, full-back, running the ball, can't quite get in. It's tackled by the Miners. Longstaff on his own, is he in? He is. Well, he's threatened all afternoon. He's right, about 5 yards to the left-hand side of the post. It's going to make for a very, very interesting ending. 1.5 minutes left of normal time, plus injury time. And it's Longstaff who's gone in for a try in a very kickable position. His second try of the afternoon. And Booth kicks the goal, so it's Ligh Miners 22, Travellers Saints 21. For a thrilling finale to this Youth Cup final. So we're into the last seconds of normal time, but injury time. There's quite a couple of injuries this side. I would guess he may well play a couple, 2 to 3 minutes of injuries. And it's the Miners who've been under pressure this last 5 minutes as Travellers Saints made one last concerted effort to try and get themselves within striking distance. It's Blakely. Named the man of the match, hits it deep. Booth takes it. He's running it back in. Comes back inside, evades Costello's tackle, evades another two. Finally it's McGowan and Gill who get him down. Now with Parker. One mistake now could win the game for either side, or either side's opposition. Now Minter. A good tackle by Wood. 22-21 to Smelt. He's looking to chip for the corner. It's a good chip too. Longstaff's chasing, but it's Barry Hodkinson who takes it. He's got to straighten up. He's got to go forward and take the tackle, and he's met by Pearson Smelt. And he's felt it too. So that's now a Divine, now Bent. Gill to Divine. Flannery straightening it up. He's had a very good game this afternoon. Both sides work very, very hard. It's with Gill, it's out to McGowan, a scorer of 2 tries. He's trying to go around, but can't find any way through there. Well, into the second minute of injury time now. Gill, Divine, a little chip over. The bounce beats him, but it's picked up by Gill, and it's a 6th tackle. So it's going to be Travellers Saints to resume, and the Miners going to be under pressure here with Northern. Out to Holmes, out to Booth, out to Longstaff. The ball to Rubery, but not a good one, and a knock-on. Well, the Miners bench will be delighted to see that, and there goes the final whistle. Ligh Miners have taken the BNFL Barlow National Youth Cup for the 4th time in 7 years. The 3rd time, sorry, in 7 years, 4th final in 7 years. The scoreline, Ligh Miners Welfare 22, Travellers Saints 21. And what a fine game this has been here this afternoon at Knowsley Road. Travellers Saints, they've got 4 goals and a drop goal from Craig Bruce, their captain at full-back. 2 tries from Spencer Longstaff, their outstanding back forward, and a try from second row man Mick Smith. Leigh Miners, they had a try from centre Simon Booth, 2 tries by the other centre Mike McGowan, and 1 from scrum half Michael Devine that will long live in the memory of people who've seen this game today. There was 3 goals as well from Steve Flannery, and altogether a tremendous performance from both teams in a very competitive game, with only a couple of penalties being awarded for indiscipline on the part. 2 disciplined performances from these sides, and a marvellous win for Leigh Miners. Consolation or condolences to Travellers Saints, but what a game everybody's been treated to here at Knowsley Road.
She's a lady,